Hey everybody, Steve Glenn again here. I'm going to give you a quick overview on a couple of short topics here. I've decided to break these videos down into something a little bit shorter, something's a little bit more digestible. Um, I had a longer video that hopefully some of you saw where I talked about a lot of interesting things about silver stacking. Um, in that video, I did get a number of comments on the subject of junk silver. So I'd like to take this video and just focus on that. What I said in that video is that I would not recommend junk silver, buying junk silver. And a lot of people thought that I was kind of crazy about saying that sort of thing. So what I'd like to do is I'd like to take and explain in detail why it's probably not a good idea to do that. Let me start by saying that we live in a society where we expect things to happen pretty quickly, and for everybody, time is money, and it seems like we never have enough time as it is, right? When you're in the grocery store and you're buying things, and you come to find that the person in front of you is getting ready to write a check, or they've got a bunch of food stamps or something like that, you're immediately looking for another aisle where you can hopefully get things moving a little bit faster. We want people to have RFID cards on their credit cards and swipe things quickly or pay cash and get to moving so we can take care of our business and get out of the way as well. If you're going into a store to buy cigarettes or pop or bread or whatever it is, and you're thinking that you're going to use junk silver to do that, and this has been your quote-unquote plan for a while now, I want to go through some of the issues and problems with this that people are going to run into, and that's going to cause people to be frustrated with it, okay? There's a number of things, and maybe you haven't thought about these, but I'm going to go through a number of them with you. This is probably not a complete list, but I just want to sort of give you an idea. First, let me also start this by saying that I've been a collector of coins for a long time, many, many years. Since I was a teenager. I'm in my mid-50s now. And I first started collecting coins probably when I was 13, 14 years old. My dad got me interested. And so I've sort of been doing it, not heavily, but, off and on over the years. I've always had, some selection of old coins. I've had coins that date back to the time of Christ. I've had, quarters that I've sold, for several $100s. I've had a wide variety of things, and I still do. So let me just give you an example here. Let's say you go into a store, and who do you typically find at McDonald's or at Publix or Walmart? Oftentimes you find younger people, in their late teens, early 20s, behind the counter, and you walk up and you want to pay for something. If you want to pay for something, let's say you want to pay for it, and part of this is going to be in dimes, okay? So in a junk bag of silver, you're going to find all kinds of stuff. You're going to find things like, these might be a little hard to see, but those are, of course, Roosevelt dimes. Now, these are all 90% silver dimes, but there are some of these dimes that are not 90% silver. So how are you going to be able to tell? Well, you can look at the edge of them, the reeded edge, and sort of get an idea. But the other thing is you have to look at sometimes the date, okay? Now, I don't know about you, but some of these dates, especially on coins that are in these junk bags, what's been happening is these coins have been sliding over the top of each other, and the effect of that is that you'll see that the coin will get a smooth edge to it, okay? So here, these here are barber dimes, okay? And so you can see that they've lost a lot of their definition. That's from them sliding over the top of each other. These are coins that have not been taken well care of. They've been in and out of people's pockets and change drawers and things like that for years and years and years, and this is what happens to them. They get really worn. On these, the dates can be hard to read, okay? And I guarantee you most people behind the counter have never seen a barber dime. And what else you might find? Well, you might find some Mercury dimes. Okay, so here's some Mercury dimes. Now, so you've got not just one type of dime you might run into. You might run into 3, 4 different kinds of dimes, okay? And some of the dimes depending upon the year, will have different amounts of silver in them. Okay, so that's one of the things you run into. And then you run into the same thing with other denominations as well. Everybody probably recognizes, a Washington quarter there. There's a 1943. But here is an 1898 Barbara quarter. Okay? And again, this is something that most people will not have seen. And not seeing it, they're going to look at it and go, okay, well, I see that there's it looks like an American eagle on the back, but I can't quite read what it says. Is that an American coin? Is it silver? What percentage of silver is it? Maybe I gotta get my manager over here to take a look at this. Okay, this is right into the same thing with half dollars. Here's a Kennedy half dollar, right? 1964, I believe it is. And that right there is a 90% silver coin. Here's a 90%, right? Here's a Franklin half dollar, right? Here's a Walking Liberty half dollar, right? Brilliant Uncirculated, 1946. Now, the thing is I just showed you 3 different kinds of quarters there, okay? Again, some of these will have different amounts of silver depending upon the dates in them, okay? So it can get very, very confusing. And some of those dates, again, can be hard to read. Here's another issue. This coin right here, this Walking Liberty coin right here, has this particular artist rendition of Liberty walking has been used on a large variety of coins, and not only coins, actual currency, but also on a number of bullion coins as well. So sometimes they'll see things like this, and they'll have to take a second look at it and try to figure out, well, what exactly is this? And if you hand somebody a whole pile of change like this, what do you think that they're not going to have people sitting there at each counter just to count through and sort through this junk silver that you're handing them to see whether or not they can process it. Here you go. Here's an Eisenhower silver dollar, 1977. Okay, how much silver does that have in it? None. It's a copper nickel clad coin. There's no silver content in it whatsoever, right? Here, of course, is a piece silver dollar. I think it's 1923. Okay, so this one here, of course, is 90% silver, right? 90% silver. Well, here's another problem that you run into. Somebody might come and go, well, hey, here's a silver dollar. Well, that doesn't have any silver. Well, it's a silver dollar. It's got to have silver in it. So you're going to have people arguing with you at the counter as to how much silver it's got in it. If you look at silver bullion, what does it say on the coin? It says, 999 fine, 1 troy ounce of silver, right? So here's a Sunshine Mint. Right, what does that say? 1 troy ounce, 999 fine silver, right? You know exactly what that is. Now, even though if I walk in with this piece silver dollar here, and they might take it, what do we got to do? Is this an ounce of silver? No. It's less than an ounce of silver. It's about 0.95, okay? So what you have to do is you have to take that's of the content of the coin. The coin is 90% silver, but the thing doesn't weigh in a 1 troy ounce. This is a troy ounce. This is not a troy ounce. This is heavier than this is. So I've got to take and subtract, make a calculation to say, okay, this is 0.95 of an ounce. Then I have to take and do another calculation saying this is 90%, so take it again times 0.90 to find out what the melt value of silver in this piece silver dollar is, okay? Now, it's a whole lot easier if I were to walk in and say, hey, I want to buy something, and this right here is 1 troy ounce of fine silver. If silver's trading at $100 an ounce, they know exactly what that is. There's no calculations to be made. If it's a half, you know, no problem. It's 50 bucks, right? And you can have different denominations. I mean, here are some 1/10 ounce silver rounds, and sure enough, if you actually look close enough, you'll see these have that very same, excuse me, Walking Liberty pattern or artist work on them. And so, you know, those are 10 bucks a piece, right? So there's your denominations right there. It's very, very easy to use this. You can here's a roll of them, okay? So you can get a roll. That's that Walking Liberty again. I know it's kind of hard to see. It's not focusing real well. But the point is you could buy whole rolls of these things, you know, that you can use. Now, if you listen to like Mike Maloney or Peter Schiff, these people are saying the exact same thing that I'm saying as well. In fact, Peter Schiff, he's got on his website, they're selling junk silver bags, okay? And if you buy one of these junk silver bags, right, you know what you're going to find in it? You're not going to find any junk silver. You're going to find 250 of these. Sunshine Mint, half troy ounce, right? So as I say there, it says half troy ounce, 999 fine silver. So if you buy one of those bags from Peter Schiff's website, you're going to get 250 of these, okay? Very, very easy to negotiate, to buy and sell with these things, okay? So that's the point that I wanted to make on this junk silver. You know, you can go out there and you can buy that junk silver, and you might even get a good deal on it. But if you're thinking about, you know, going out and buying and selling with folks using it, there might be a market for it, but I guarantee you there's going to be a lot of places that are going to be like, you know, we don't have the time to deal with that stuff. There's too many different kinds of denominations. The dates are worn on us. Some of them have 40% silver. Some of them have 90. Some of them don't have any silver whatsoever. They're not going to have silver testers back there. Okay, let's see if this dime or this quarter, you know, has got real silver in it, or if it's copper clad, and then they got to train everybody on all this stuff to understand it. I mean, it's just a huge mess. It's a huge problem. So that's why I advocate, you know, if you're just going to take and if you're thinking about, you know, bartering or going out and buying and selling using silver, you know, get yourself, you know, half ounces, quarter ounce, some 10 ounce, 10 ounce, 10th ounce, excuse me, and you know, just take and use those because life's going to be so much easier. Okay. So hope you enjoyed the video. Have yourself a great rest of your evening or your day. God bless America, and vote Republican. We need to get a good GOP candidate in here and turn the socialist agenda that we've been under for the last 8 years around. All right. I hope you like the video, and subscribe if you like, and I'll try to put up some more useful information for you. Thank you.